Welcome back. I am so happy you're here. Today's class is going to be short and sweet, and it is going to be focused on self care. So, I really think of self care as a form of um, having high integrity for what we promise ourselves that we're going to do, how we're going to show up, and really moving slowly and mindfully. I think sometimes when we hurry, we tend to unconsciously respond or react. And so, this practice, I really want us to carry a mindfulness throughout the entire practice and finding within each pose a way that feels super, super nourishing for your body. So, I do encourage you, if you have blocks, to go ahead and grab them. If you don't have blocks, I would grab some pillows or something that you can use to help just add support wherever you might need it. So, really, this is a practice where we're really going to take care of ourselves through each posture. All right, so to begin, let's begin on in child's pose. And again, taking a moment to listen to what feels best in your body. So if you want to take the feet wide, or the knees wide, sorry, and then let the hands come towards the top of the mat, and just let the forehead come down to the mat. If you want to keep your hands reaching forward in a more active position, or if you want to broaden and widen the elbows to reach towards the outer edges of the mat, creating a diamond shape with the hands. I like this posture because it just helps to offer space to my shoulders. So taking a couple moments here to really ground, to really arrive. This is going to be more of a grounding practice. When I think of nurturing myself, I think of kind of staying close to the earth. And begin to notice the breath. Where do you feel the breath on the inhale? What do you feel when you exhale? And when you're ready, I invite you to begin to elongate the breath. Really expanding on the inhale, really feeling the low back expand, the rib cage expand. And as you exhale, really releasing all the air out to navel, draws up and into the spine. Good. And before we add movement here, just take a moment to ask yourself, how can I nurture myself more? Think of ways that fill you up. Think of things that bring you that little lightness, that fill up your cup to really nurture your soul. And the feeling that those things leave you with, that's the tender love and care that I want you to carry out through your practice today. Good. And on your next inhale, moving gently, mindfully, just begin to lift up, coming to all fours. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, fingers spread wide. Just taking a breath here in all fours. Really find length through the spine. Shoulders kind of soften down the back body. Inhale, really breathe into all directions of the rib cage. And exhale here. On the next inhale, we'll find cow, letting the belly kind of fall towards the mat, look towards the front of the mat. Being careful not to arch that cervical spine. Exhale, really push the mat away. Good. Inhale, let the belly fall, maybe tucking the back toes, offering space, smiling through the collarbones. And exhale, really round through the upper back. Bring that tailbone underneath you. Good. This time I invite you, if you'd like, to just kind of begin to add some different movements. So maybe if you want to begin to add circles towards the spine or in the spine, where you're almost like a jump rope here. Good. Then maybe reverse if that feels good to you, if that's what you're doing. But just let your breath fuel the movement. Letting the body move in a way that feels super nourishing. And it doesn't even have to be within tabletop. Maybe you come back into child's pose. Good. Then we'll find our way back to tabletop, so wherever you are, and then reach that right foot out. So getting a little bit into a calf stretch here. And then slowly making a C shape with your body, just begin to look towards the left. So keeping the hips as square as possible, just reach and look over towards that left edge of your mat. Good. And then come back to center, bringing that right knee down. Left foot comes out. Calf stretch on this side. Good. And then slowly, gently look over that right shoulder, stretching into the side body. Deep breath here. Making sure those hips stay square. Good. And come back to center. Left knee comes down. Good. I'm going to come to face you, but just come to sit on your heels. If this doesn't feel good to you, I invite you to maybe add a block underneath, or you can always come into easy seat at any time. Again, nourish yourself and find what feels good. So we're going to come into mermaid pose. So bringing the hips to the right, and you're going to have the feet off towards the side a little bit, and then we're going to bend towards the heels. So we'll inhale that right arm up, really find length. Exhale, reach that left hand over as far as you can. I want you to imagine length on the left side as you lengthen on the right side. Good. So we don't want to collapse. Really soften the traps. Good. I invite you to either stay here if you want to add movement. You can inhale, kind of look up. Don't arch that cervical spine. And then exhale, kind of round forward. Kind of getting into the low back here. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, reach down. Good. One more time. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale that left or right hand down and come into gate pose for a couple breaths. So that left leg will reach out, ground the left heel down, reach the left arm up and over. Big side body stretch on the opposite side. Good. Soften the shoulder blades. Good. And moving with tender loving care, bringing that left foot back under the glutes. Just take a moment here to bring the left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Gently close the eyes. come back to center. Come back to that question of how can I nurture myself more? And really let that guide you through the question or through the transitions here. Gently open the eyes, and we'll go to the other side, letting the hips fall towards the left. And then again, if you're in a seated easy pose, you can do the same movement. So inhale the left arm up, really find length. Exhale, reach that right hand towards the top of the mat. Left arm reaches up and over. Good. Again, finding length on the underside body as well as the side body that's reaching over. Invitation to stay here or add movement. So inhale and exhale. Good. I want you to find what feels best for your body here. Inhale and exhale, rounding forward. Good. One more time. Really open the chest. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left hand down, coming into gate pose, moving slowly, mindfully. Right leg reaches out, right arm reaches up and over. Deep breath here, stretching through the right side body. One line of energy from the tips of the fingers all the way down to the right heel. And on your next exhale, come back to center. Good. This time, coming back with the left hand on the chest, right hand on the belly. Just coming back to that heart center space. How can we nurture ourselves to fill ourselves up so that we can show up on and off our mats with the most integrity and giving it our very best, no matter what that looks like. Beautiful. And coming back to all fours. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, tuck the toes, and gently, slowly lift the hips up, finding your way to downward facing dog. So when I think of self-care, I think of just offering a little space to myself, space to move through and be however it needs to be. So I invite you, if it feels good, to take the feet wide as the mat. So big toes on the mat, all the other toes off. And just really open up through the legs here. So yearn the heels down towards the mat as the tailbone wants to lift up. Good. Find length through the spine, ears in line with the biceps. Pull the lower ribs in. Good. Really take care of that breath, really feeling the rib cage expand on the inhale. Really just letting everything go on the exhale. One more big breath here. Good, and let it go. Gently moving the feet back to hip width apart and slowly lifting that right foot up, three-legged dog. Lifting it as high as you feel comfortable. Don't go to the highest height. Try and keep those hips as square as possible. Bend the right knee and just gently step that right foot in between the hands, or maybe you carry it forward. And lower the left foot down, or the left knee down. Coming into a low lunge. So this is where I invite you to grab a block and place it on the right side of your mat. So if you don't have a block, maybe a pillow or two stacked on top of each other would work really well here. But make sure you're not on a tightrope, so you're on like railroad tracks. The right knee stacked over the right ankle. You can see the right big toe. Inhale, arms up. Pull the lower ribs in. Relax the traps. Good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bring the right hand down to the block. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach the left hand up and over. Good. This is where I invite you to find self-care, whether you want to maybe take the block down to the lowest setting or finding the right height for you. Maybe it's no block at all. Maybe the hand wants to come all the way down to the floor. So this is where I want you to cultivate listening. Think length on the inhale and exhale, really deep in that side bend. Good. One more deep breath. On the exhale now, the left hand is going to kind of make an arc to where it's coming towards the right diagonal of the mat, coming all the way down. And then take the right hand on the inner side of the right foot, walk the right foot out. So coming into kind of like a lizard position here. And then grounding that left hand. Again, offering space. You can put the block here. Put the left hand onto the block. This just adds a little space. And then rotate, reaching the right hand up. Finding your version if you want to tuck and lift the back knee. Right shoulder stacked on top of left. Really reach that right arm forward. Good. Really deep breaths here. Think of the chest opening towards the right. One more deep breath. And exhale, lower that right hand. If the left knee is lifted, go ahead and gently lower it. And then keeping the right foot out on the diagonal, I want you to just slowly walk back. So your right leg is going to stay in a diagonal, but we're coming into a half split. This is also where you can use a block. I love to just offer space because it's what we want to really find the most nourishing thing for our body is to have length through the spine. So really find that length and then exhale, go deeper with the length. Good. If you want to add dynamic movement where you inhale, kind of lift, exhale, lower. Or maybe you stay low, inhale, just reaching the crown forward, exhale, folding deeper. So take a few moments to explore and play with what feels the most nourishing for you in this position. Good. One more breath. And we'll gently come forward. You can move the block if you've been using it. And we'll just come back to tabletop, bring that right knee down, and come to child's pose for a few breaths. So feet together, knees wide, bring the forehead down. Again, if you want to take those arms into a diamond shape, just allowing the shoulders to relax and soften. And on the next inhale, gently lift back into tabletop. Tuck the toes, find your way to downward facing dog. Good. If you want to find any movement here that might feel good, just take a few breaths to do so. And we'll find a breath or two of stillness together. Again, the heels yearning towards the floor, tailbone yearning towards the top ceiling or the outer edge ceiling of your wall. Ears in line with biceps, lower ribs pulled in. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up, finding the height that feels most nourishing to you. And bend that left knee, step or carry the left foot in between the hands, lower the right knee down, coming into low lunge. Bringing that block to the outer left side. Good. Inhale, lift the arm on top so that you can see those left toes. Traps are relaxed, lower ribs pulled in. Inhale, find length. Exhale, bring the left hand down to the block. Inhale, find length. Exhale, reach the right hand towards the left. Again, inviting you to find your height with the block that feels most nourishing, or no block or no prop at all. So really breathe here. Getting deep into that psoas, which is directly connected to our sympathetic nervous system. So when we can release tension, we can begin to almost disarm in a way and to release that fight or flight response. Good. On the next exhale, begin to kind of round that right arm towards the left side of the mat, kind of making a big arc. Right hand comes down, left hand comes on the inner side of the left foot. Walk the left foot out, coming into a lizard variation. Again, I like to have my block under the right hand to offer space. So, and then if you want to keep the knee down or tuck the right toes, lift the back knee and then open the left arm up. So really reach that back heel if your foot is lifted or your knee is lifted. And really find that twist here. Shoulders are in line with each other. Kind of getting deeper into the hip. Good. One more breath. And exhale, bringing that left hand down. Lower that right knee. And again, keeping that left foot kind of out in that lizard position. Then we walk back into our kind of half split variation. I like to use my block here. Really think of lengthening through the spine, flexing those left toes. Exhale, fold. Again, finding your version. If you want to just lengthen and then exhale deeper, or if you want to bring the torso all the way up and then exhale into a dynamic stretch. Few breaths here on your own. Good. On your next inhale, slowly come forward. Set the block off to the side if you have it. Bring that left knee underneath you. And coming to tabletop, and then we'll find our way to a seated position. Coming into butterfly. Let's take a few moments here. Just offer a little bit of space. And if you want to prop the knees up on a block, please feel free to do so. Do whatever feels good in this position. And let's give ourselves a little massage. So what would self-care be without a little massage to the feet? So just gently kind of feeling into any spaces of tension. And also I like to do this, like I'm trying to actually do this more before bed, because coming into and like massaging your feet, not only does it help like relax, but it brings us down to our foundation, to our grounding, which can really just kind of help bring the energy and prepare us to relax. So I just think it's super helpful and it feels good. So just kind of feeling into any spaces, maybe coming into the ankle, the outer shin. And then if you want to stay on the feet, you're welcome to. Or I invite you to just kind of begin to squeeze up the legs. Good. And then we'll squeeze, just kind of massaging through the arms, coming up to maybe one of the traps, and like it's like you're walking your fingers down the sides of your neck, over your trap muscles. I know I carry a lot of tension in my neck and shoulders. So just kind of taking a moment to be conscious of that, aware of that. Good. And then switching sides. Just kind of, I don't know, I think it feels good to kind of squeeze and then finding any spaces along the neck. You know, it's in Sanskrit, they have the words svadhyaya, and to me it translates to self-awareness. So really just bringing this self-awareness to where we do hold tension, where we can soften, and where we can take better care of ourselves. I think it's super important. And when we can better support and love ourselves, then we can better support and love those that we care most about. Good. So whenever that feels complete, just come to a seated easy pose. And we will end with a gentle little loving hug for ourselves. So we'll inhale those arms out wide and exhale, cross the right arm over the left. Hands wrap around the body, just kind of giving yourself a little hug here. You could even massage along the inner edge of the scapula. Good. And then we'll reverse the arm that's on top. So inhale, lift, open the chest. Exhale, left arm on top, coming into that little hug. Again, any kind of self-massage if that feels good. And inhale, open the arms, open the chest. And exhale, this time left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. Taking a moment to feel the heart beating in your chest. To feel the breath naturally expanding and contracting in the belly. And coming back to that sense of deep nourishment for your mind, body, and soul. Knowing that you matter, that you are worthy, and that you are loved. These are not just affirmations, these are truths. Really receive that truth. Bringing hands gently to heart center, that prayer, bowing down to your heart, taking time to honor yourself for showing up on your mat and doing something nurturing and nourishing for your whole body, for your whole well-being. I send you love and light. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed this practice and that it brought you a little bit of tender love and care to whatever is going on in your world. I would love to hear from you. If you have any comments, please let me know what you thought of this practice. And also, please subscribe. I really appreciate all of your support. And until next time, share on lightly.